Please be seated, everybody. This is the 2017 high school graduation ceremony. It is a ceremony which the school finds to be very significant because it's the threshold of young people to adulthood. And we appreciate your giving your lovely students to us for this time in their education. It's my role to welcome certain people here today. I want to welcome the parents and grandparents. There are many grandparents here today come from overseas, and it is a great pleasure and privilege for us to have you here. As well as that, the internet system is running, and many of the grandparents are watching overseas what's happening here today, listening to my voice as I say it. It's live, and that's an exciting development in the last few years. This is the 27th time I've stood up here and said things like this. It's always exciting at the end of the school year, especially the high school graduation ceremony. I want to pay a tribute to the high school teachers who have been working faithfully and hard to bring your young people to the stage that they're at today. They will remember their students, and the students will remember them, we hope with pleasure. And we also welcome here today the 11th grade students. They're down the back. Wave your hand. Okay. We've got the 11th grade students here today because next year they're going to be up here. So they will be learning from us how all this works. And so we look forward to that. Today we're graduating 175 students out of high school. Congratulations to you all. I hope you'll forgive me if I turn my back to you because I want to address the students for a moment. You will remember your time at OFS, I hope with warm feelings about your friendships in this multinational and multicultural school. These memories will be very important in the future as you understand how this multicultural, multinational world is going to be working in future. Quite different from when I was your age and your parents were even my age. It's a different time. And the experience you've had here at OFS, I believe will stand you in good stead. University is an institution for adults. So now it's over to you. We recognize the positive influence of Singapore every year when we have this ceremony. Singapore is a wonderful, safe environment for a school. And so at this time in our ceremony, we have the Singapore National Anthem. If we tried to do the national anthems for all the nationalities, we would need something like 60 different national anthems. But we always have the Singapore one to, just for a moment, recognise the privilege we've all had in living here and participating within the Singapore community. So we will now have stand, please. Would everyone please stand for the Singapore National Anthem? Thank you. Please be seated, everybody. And now I call upon our high school principal, Ms. Sue Benton, who will run this graduation ceremony. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, David. Good morning, parents and family guests, directors and faculty, and of course, graduands. Welcome to our high school graduation ceremony, where we recognise and we celebrate the achievements of the class of 2017. We will begin with the school song, sung by the choir under the direction of Miss Nora Patterson, accompanied by the high school orchestra, conducted by Miss Mallock. Thank you, choir and orchestra. Parents, you have every right to be very proud of your son or daughter's years here at OFS. They have performed outstandingly well in so many aspects, academics, but also the skills that actually make a difference: empathy, kindness, and support for each other. Graduating class, I would like to thank you for making this challenging year productive, positive, and successful. As you move on to your next phase in life, I'm sure that you will face many new challenges. Just remember that your time here at OFS and in Singapore has shaped you in a way that differs from many other people that you are going to encounter. You have had a precious opportunity from your parents to interact with and appreciate many people from different backgrounds and cultures. Your international experience is not common to the majority of people in this world. You have seen that many people from different cultures can and do get along and appreciate each other. My challenge to you is to use your international experience at OFS to have an influence out in the greater world. People who have never had experiences like yours may have difficulty believing that such diverse backgrounds can live and work together. Let them know that we have the potential to live in a peaceful world. You have seen it and you have lived it day by day. Finally, remember that wherever you happen to be, one thing will always go with you: your character. I encourage you to be principled adults. As long as you seek to uphold that attribute, you will have a sense of personal satisfaction that you have always acted with integrity. We are now privileged to hear a piano solo, and it is entitled The Nocturne Opus 20 in C sharp minor by Chopin. I'd like to invite graduand Miss Melissa Lamb to the stage. Thank you for sharing your marvelous talent with us, Melissa. The student nominated to speak on the graduating class's behalf is Bas Bongers. Bas comes from the Netherlands, and he joined OFS in 2014 after a year in Vietnam. He has, over these years, contributed significantly to class lessons with his enthusiastic approach and good humor. Teachers have recently described him as having an infectiously positive attitude and noted his perseverance, increasing confidence, and the hard work needed to improve on his final grades. His peers in grade 12 have voted for him to speak on their behalf today. Mr. Bas Bongers.
Thank you, Ms. Benton. Good morning. Good morning, directors, parents, teachers, friends, and family. But most importantly, good morning to the class of 2017. Before I begin, I want to say what a privilege and honor it is to be chosen by my peers to speak on behalf on what might be the most memorable Wednesday morning of our lives. Please excuse me for using personal anecdotes and the word I. The spotlight might be on me right now, but this speech is for the amazing group behind me. There are some simple messages I want to convey to you all today. The first one is, give credit where credit is due. Nothing more, just highlighting the work some people around this campus have done, and a few individuals in particular. After all, high school basically comes down to citing your sources. It's quite easy if you think of it that way. Plagiarism is therefore considered a serious crime at OFS and the places we go next. After these 2 years especially, we have learned on how to cite sources and give credit where credit is due. These past 2 years have been difficult. Besides the long holidays, the many social gatherings, and the various after-school activities, I have personally witnessed mental breakdowns, involuntary sobbing, and abrupt mood changes all over this campus. And that's only the teachers. Now, here we sit. We have finally made it through together. We didn't do it alone, of course. Our teachers and parents played an important role in shaping us, as we, most of the time, listened to their advice and experience. On behalf of the class of 2017, I want to thank all the staff at OFS. Many of the graduates have been here much longer than I have. They have grown up at OFS and thus have seen the developments in and around the school. For some of them, Mr. Lawrence's spirit still haunts certain students. Lawrence, Devin, Philip, I'm talking about you guys. Watch out, he's coming for you. Yet for others, Mr. Reed's orange slips were almost the same as an orange jumpsuit. They have received many over the years, but hopefully we all learn from this. Without the office, we'd still be late for school every single day. During these 2 years, I have also learned a lot. Some of the people who have been unfortunate enough to have shared a math class with me know what I am talking about. They have had a taste of what I call my mathematical expertise. I have to give all credit to Mr. Colin Hornell for the one new skill I learned. For those of you wondering, nope, I did not master calculus, or integration, or vectors, or trigonometry, even algebra. Believe me, Mr. Hornell has tried his utter best. Still, he taught me something even more fundamental: how to get down to work. It may surprise you, but sometimes I procrastinate. In fact, I, along with 95% of the students worldwide, firmly believe in the quote which goes, If tomorrow isn't the due date, today isn't the due date. Miss Ornell taught me how to tackle procrastination like it's nothing. Here's how I learned it. Every time I would go off topic in class or lost my focus, Mr. Hornell came to the rescue. It sounded something like this. Buzz, get to work. This has even helped me in my personal life. For instance, when browsing endless cat videos on YouTube, this little voice in my head goes, Buzz, get to work. Well, if you know Mr. Hornell, you know what I am talking about, of course. And if you don't, well, let's just say he looks like a guy you don't really want to mess with. I also want to thank our academic advisors for the great advice and smooth application processes. I know having to deal with our urgent emails through your holiday is not the most exciting thing in the world, but still, you guide us and prepare us for the next step in our lives. Our teachers have also gone out of their way to help us succeed. They are the people who actually taught us what we know today. We could have never done this without you, literally. In particular, I want to thank Mr. Tim Woods and Ms. Melanie Wilson. I have only had the privilege of being taught by Mr. Woods for this past year, but it feels much longer than that. Mr. Woods taught me business and management, something that I really enjoy, but the real lessons I learned from him were not in the book. I know that I speak on behalf of this whole class when I say that you were one of the friendliest and nicest teachers in this school. I think Mr. Woods deserves a little applause. I would also like to thank Ms. Wilson for the insane amount of extra time she spent in putting us and getting us to where we are now. Some of us have experiences during the long extended essay process, while others of us have had the privilege of attending your global politics class. You never wasted a minute in class, yet somehow you managed to know us all personally and care about us like we were your own children. Finally, I want to thank our parents, the most important figures in our lives, for giving us this opportunity. Papa, Mama, dankjewel. I know we're not always the easiest. Many of us have had to learn our lessons, and we still have plenty more still ahead. However, I hope you do feel somewhat comfortable with us leaving and taking on the big bad world ourselves. If not, at least we'll get to enjoy a few more home-cooked meals. Now it is time to make you proud by achieving what we set our mind to. Sitting before you right now is a class of graduates, young, vibrant students ready to forge their own path and future. Most of you know a few sitting in front of you. Your own child, of course, his or her friends, but not every single individual. I feel that it is my job on this day, given the opportunity by my peers, to talk about them. Let me introduce to you a few members of the Overseas Family School, class of 2017. This class is full of interesting characters. Characters such as Keshav, our former president. His love for orange juice and public speaking go hand in hand like yin and yang. Dudes like Tisha and Palak roam through the halls of OFS with their superb tech skills and uplifting attitudes. But now, let me introduce to you a few characters in detail. First up is Pashambara. He claims to have taken global politics for 2 years now, but let's be real here, Pashan, no one's going to believe you. We know you were already debating policy when you were in kindergarten. As a member of this class, Pashan has constantly proven what it means to be an international student leader and participating by organizing and participating in countless Model United Nations conferences. However, this is not what I believe. Like the many others in this class, Pashan will use his current capabilities to grow and tackle future problems. I believe that Pashan is a real man for standing up for women's rights, which he has constantly proven to all of us. Showing empathy of all, Pashan proves that Overseas Family School does its name proud and functions like a real family. Speaking of empathy, the one thing that our generation has been criticized for lacking due to our obsessions with likes and selfies, you should meet Gustavo. Now, I won't try to pronounce his last name, just in case I upset any Brazilians here today, but I will talk how I see a reflection of the OFS class 2017 in Gustavo. Gustavo shows great compassion and interest in the people around him. He is someone everyone likes to be around, as he can be quite funny. One thing Gustavo is particularly good at is giving compliments to people. Now, once again, I'm personally not sure if this is him or his South American charm, but I'm sure whatever the fact is, it is always real and genuine. His heart is in a good place and filled with the right intentions. Gustavo understands that every now and then, everyone needs a hug. His positive attitude, especially in the morning, when he brings a smile on the face of grumpy, tired teenagers. Yeah, basically. To sum Gustavo up and the class of 2017, he and they are always there for you no matter what. Lastly, I would like to mention Aurora. Some of you might not know her because she's rather anonymous online. Personally, I don't know what is more impressive, surviving IB without Facebook or not giving in to the temptation to procrastinate on Facebook. Aurora is what I call an all-around expert, someone who maintains her excellent grades, her social life, and community and service. She participated in theater, peer tutoring, MUN, netball, student voice, the list goes on and on. Her organization, dedication, and planning is something many can learn from, including myself. Now, you might be wondering, why do these three graduates get a special mention? This is because they represent the true mix of elements of the class of 2017. There are 4 parts to this class, and what I think makes a healthy environment to spend a lot of time in. This class is outspoken about ongoing issues internationally and locally, outspoken about their opinions and the way events are organized. This class is determined to succeed their goals, be they academic or personal. This class is balanced. The mix of different personalities and nationalities gives OFS its unique character, allowing everyone to flourish in their own way. And this creates the last element, which I think is the most important. This class is genuine and real. Everyone has found their place and is respected by one another. This period in our lives is an exciting yet scary one. Most of us will leave the comfort of the homes we grew up in, while some of us remain to have the privilege of raiding a fully stocked fridge every now and then for another few years. Some of us know of the course we want to pursue, while others of us, including me, still need to find our true passion. With either we already know what we want or are still searching, we face great personal challenges and dilemmas, global challenges like global warming, which would be the single greatest issue of our generation. Our personal challenges will differ. One may have to climb the corporate ladder, while the other may run around the jungle or dive into the sea to save the environment, or work hours on end to save a life, or write engaging articles to uncover the truth. There are endless possibilities and paths for us. My final message is much shorter. This message is about living in the moment. Now, you might be wondering, what does an 18-year-old know about that? But let me tell you, it is easy to get carried away by the things ahead of you. Many accomplishments require great planning that needs to be done ahead of time. While it is important to keep your mind focused on your goals, it is almost just as important to make the most out of the present. Do the things that make you happy. Get out of your comfort zone to be able to tell a cool story later. This is a lesson that I had to learn this year, a special person to me, had to keep reminding me to enjoy the moment. With this hectic school year coming to an end, it is easy to look back and say, wow, I could have done that. I wish I did this. Now, I get it. You still might be wondering, what is this short Dutch boy trying to tell you? Before you get handed your diploma today and take off to enjoy your long summer, remember to make the most out of it. Use your last few months, weeks, or even days in Singapore very wisely and soak up every bit of your surrounding. Who knows will be the next time you'll be back here. Enjoy this very moment you have worked so many years towards. Absorb this moment and engrave it into your memory as a time where you were happy and proud, because I'm proud of everyone here. Living in a moment is, ironically, one way to make your life want to remember, one to be worth writing about. Motivational quotes and speeches only mean something if you believe it in, if you put your words to actions. So get out there, do something crazy every now and then, and live your life to the full potential. Do the things that make you happy and confront your fears. Do the things that make, time is your enemy, and therefore time is precious. Use it the best way you can. And now, class of 2017, it is time to make our lives count. One for the books. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Baz. I can see why your peers voted for you, obviously knowing that they would hear a speech that recognizes their family, their teachers, and the friends that you're all grateful for. The high school choir and the ensemble, directed by Miss Nora Patterson, will entertain us now with the song, Best Day of My Life.
I had a dream so big and loud, I jumped so high I touched the clouds. I stretched my hands out to the sky, we danced with monsters through the night. I'm never gonna look back, no, I'm never gonna give it up. Oh, please don't wake me now. 2, 3, 4. I had a dream so big and loud, I jumped so high I touched the clouds.
at the moon with friends until the sun came crashing in.
All the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies.
Never gonna give it up, whoa, never gonna give it up, whoa, please don't wake me now.
Thank you, choir and musicians. That is certainly an apt choice for today. It is tradition for the graduating students to select a faculty speaker. This time, Mr. Jason Brough has been bestowed this honour. Jason is from the United Kingdom, and he has taught in his home country, in Paris, France, in Vancouver, Canada, and in Singapore. He joined OFS in 2009 to teach science, in particular physics, and theory of knowledge. His commitment to his students' learning, the way he always engages and challenges them to think, his sense of humour, which his students eventually get, have made him a natural choice for today's address. It is testimony to that student respect that today this teacher is providing the remarks to the graduating class. Mr. Jason Brough.
Thank you very much. Directors, honored guests, faculty, and of course, class of 2017. It is with an enormous sense of pride that I stand here today to deliver this address. Over my teaching career, I have consistently found overseas family school students to be some of the most positive, resilient, and humorous that I have ever had the pleasure to encounter. You have an irrepressible spirit of optimism, rather like my own. Your sense of togetherness and the degree of support for each other I have witnessed continues to make my heart swell with pride, and I mean that sincerely to every single one of you. My school days were not always filled with such positive emotions, and do not conjure up for me as many happy memories as I'm sure yours will for you. It is my hope, though, that by reflecting on my experience it may allow me to impart to you a few last words of wisdom from what some have termed the Bruffian condition. In truth, I do not believe I was ever supposed to be a teacher, let alone be standing here talking to you today. And if it wasn't for a few supportive words, a second chance or two, and my own boundless sense of dissatisfaction, I probably wouldn't be. My parents had left education by the age of 15. My mother to train as a seamstress, and my father as a printer. My early years had revolved around toy cars, climbing whatever object I could find to climb, and running around in my underwear pretending to be Tarzan. When I first attended school at the age of 5, formal learning was a brand new experience for me. I remember what must have been one of my first days. The class were all given a blue piece of card with their first name written on it in big letters, a new pencil, and an exercise book. We were told to copy out our names. I remember looking at my name card and my pencil like they were alien artifacts. I'd never attempted to communicate by writing before. As I tried to control my pencil, I was aware of children moving around me. I did not understand at the time, but all the children that could write their first name or were well on the way to doing so were repositioned on the other side of the room, while those that could not were moved to the side I was on. I don't remember having much interaction with my teacher after this. Myself and a few others were basically left to our own devices and spent a lot of time learning to write our own name, while the other side of the room were encouraged to make rapid progress on more advanced tasks. It was as if after my first day in education, my entire future prospects had already been determined. By the age of 8, with a different teacher, I remember being positioned on orange table in a classroom organized to replicate the colors of a partial rainbow, with the blue end of the spectrum reserved for the most able and the red end for the most least. I was completing a task that was supposed to be teaching me which way round to write a B and a D. The fact is, I'd completed all elements of this task in about 30 seconds. And I was now wondering why I kept having to do the same task over and over, whilst the teacher just worked with the green and blue tables. With a growing sense of humiliation and resentment, it was around this time I realized if I were to make any progress in closing the achievement gap between myself and the students at the top of the class, I would probably have to do it myself. I began to read as many books as the library would allow me to check out at one time. My reading skills improved exponentially. I was inspired by mathematics and science and project work, and a few teachers that decided to try and teach the whole class rather than the few. By the time I headed to high school, through sheer grit and determination, I had managed to reach the lofty heights of average. My high school, though, was not a pleasant place to be. It was more like the Hunger Games than a seat of learning. I did what I could and made some progress, but my mother often joked that every school report I ever received said nothing other than average. Not for want of trying, it seems, the poor start I had in education may have left too big a gap to fully catch up. I ended up leaving school at the age of 16 with qualifications not quite good enough to get me onto A-level courses. Unlike overseas family school, the welcoming hand of open access education was never extended to me. At my school, the potential you had demonstrated by the age of 16 was judged to be the entire sum of your potential. And that, quite possibly, should have been all the education I received. I began working, I made new friends, and I moved around a little. Until, at the age of 19, the simplest of interactions occurred that put me on a path that caused such a radical change in my perception of myself that it ultimately led me here today. Two of the new friends I'd made, both of whom had done significantly better than I at school, said something that quite possibly no one had ever said to me before. At the time, I had a job stacking supermarket shelves and a night shift. Independently of each other, and in conversation, they told me, "Jason, you're intelligent. You should be accomplishing more than this with your life." And those simple words of encouragement were all, in the end, it took. The simple recognition of what I thought to be true from an outside observer gave me the confidence to believe that perhaps I could accomplish more. Maybe I could have a second chance. From this fortuitous interaction, those few encouraging words and my sense of dissatisfaction combined together in my mind, and I started to use them as a positive motivational force. I stopped accepting the way my world was, and I looked for a way to change it. So, at the age of 21, the minimum age for enrollment, I embarked on a one-year mature student A-level program, studying social and economic history and sociology. This time was, for me, the happiest of all my academic experiences. I felt a whole new world had opened up. My lecturers brought their subjects to life, and I absolutely loved studying history. In the end, I did well enough on my exams to earn a place at the prestigious University of Warwick, studying 20th century history. Everything had worked out. Now was definitely not the time to have second thoughts and reassess my options. So, in a manner typical of the Bruffian condition, I began to have second thoughts and reassess my options. I looked around me and found an alternative path in the form of a pre-university course in applied physics and engineering. A passing grade in which would allow me to continue my studies, however, at a somewhat less prestigious university than Warwick. Unsure of which direction to take, I sought the counsel of a wiser man, my father. By this time, my father had become quite convinced I would spend the rest of my life as a student if I wasn't careful. He therefore concluded that I should take the scientific route, as he felt it much more likely to result in gainful employment one day. His logic appeared sound enough, and I took his advice. It actually turns out that my father had also had an aptitude for science and mathematics when he was at school. I wonder sometimes how different his life may have been if he had had access to the same second chances that I have had. In his life, he had also become a teacher, and for a number of decades was a very well-respected karate instructor, which was always another good reason to do what Sensei Bruff told me. You will be relieved to know I did pass my pre-university course, which eventually led me to earning an honors degree in applied physics and subsequently into a career in teaching. I do reflect occasionally, though, on what might have happened if I hadn't taken that time to reassess. Would I be here with you today? Would I ever have met Mrs. Bruff? And how thankful she must be that I did. Even after this, I felt I still had unfilled potential. Like I still had something to prove to myself. And so, in 2016, at the age of 46, I embarked on another academic journey. And I enrolled on a master's degree in natural sciences education at Colorado State University. And at long last, I am beginning to access that sense of satisfaction from believing I am fulfilling my potential. A feeling I truly hope you have all achieved far more quickly than I. And so, we arrive back to the here and now, and the class of 2017, at the first of what may be a number of graduation ceremonies. And whether you feel ready for the next step of your life journey, or you feel it's all gone by a little bit too quick, you should know this, that it is as close to an absolute truth as a TOK teacher is allowed to say, that this is your time. Your time to begin exploring the word as an adult. Your time to face the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune on your own terms. Your time to embrace opportunity and create opportunity. And your time to live a life that in its way contributes to making the whole world a better place. And as for the Bruffian condition, and what might be learned to help you as you enter your brave new world, well, I believe there are 3 things we can take away with us today. The first is this: whether the summer finds you exceeding, realizing, or yet to meet your expectations, there will always be another chance for you. Secondly, please remember, it is never too late for you to reassess your options. And finally, as I will hopefully prove to every single one of you in 2020, you're never too old to graduate. And here, my friends, I must end. It has been an absolute honor to be able to address you all today and witness the love and support of your friends, family, and peers. You have been an incredible group, and I wish you all the luck in the world for your future. Congratulations, class of 2017. Now go out and make history. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jason. Students you have taught and those who never had that privilege will remember your words. They will have to learn just like you had to and make their way in the world in spite of many setbacks. Leading the international lives that we have, many of us live just a few years in Singapore, which is a great privilege for us. Others are even luckier to live and work here for an extended time, enjoying the safe environment in an efficient and sophisticated country. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize those students who have attended OFS for many years, completing most, if not all, of their education with us. I will ask each of you to stand when your name is called out. Let's begin with students who have learned with us since grade 3. Ivan Ang, Audrey Chanitanda, Melissa Lam, Aurora Lavan-Peter, Shubhalaxmi Sen, and Mila Vidanovic. Some students have been with us since grade 2. Padrick Clark, Karan Daga, Aman Desai, Stephanie Forsberg, Bomjin Lee, Elliot Maris-Manton, Santiago Michelini, and Greta Werner. Three students have attended OFS since grade 1. Audrina Aziz, Leela Hind, and Dia Mehta. We have students here today attending OFS from kindergarten. They have grown. From K2, Aditi Agarwal, Ellen Forsell, Jivika Israni, Anandini Joshi, Daniel Rebetzi, Loritz Ritter, and Devon Rogiani. But finally today, we have some students from pre-kindergarten through to their successful graduation today. Philippe Michel, Serinia Sile, and Jason Wang. Thank you. I would like to recognize these students for their contribution to our school over those many years and hope you'll retain many fond memories of the classmates you had, the teachers over those years, our original campus at Patterson Road, and of course, our new OFS at Pasir Ris. That's right. All graduands, as is our tradition here at OFS, have received a copy of the book, The Man Who Planted Trees by Jean Giono. It's a short story about how individuals with determination and commitment can make a difference to the world. And so to the Conferral of diplomas. In my role as high school principal, I have carefully reviewed the academic records of these students. I'm pleased to certify that all students receiving a graduation diploma have met the OFS standards and requirements. I would now like to call upon the academic advisors to assist me in the conferral. They will each announce the names of their students for whom they were the advisor, and we will go in this order. Miss Anne Usher, Mr. Tom Cullen, Miss Elizabeth Lavan-Peter, Mr. James Shebb. Each will call their own group of students in alphabetical order, starting now with Miss Usher.
Alonso Taboada Ignacio, Spain. Anbalagan Akshaya, Singapore and India. Awasthe Redeemer, India. Aziz Hironisa Audrina, Indonesia. Banerjee Aditya, Singapore. Camargo Rodriguez Rodrigo, Brazil. Chi Allison, Singapore. Chow Ziawen Kaumi, Malaysia. Daga Karen, India. De Carvalho Lemos Simoes Mariana, Brazil. Desai Aman, India. Dos Santos Conde Mar, Spain. Endley Adit, India. Gandhi Simran, India. George Aditya Joseph, Singapore. Giraudet Brice, France. Guzenko Elizabeth, Russia. Hämäläinen Valentin, Finland and France. Hidaka Shogo, Japan. Islam Susanna, the United States of America. Kang Junhyuk, Korea.
Kapazi Ali Mustafa, India. Krishna Havish, India. Kumar Rohan Subhash, the United Kingdom. Lafeber Marnix Linus, the Netherlands and Vietnam. Lavin Peter Aurora Johanna, the United States of America. Leong Miyuki, Singapore. Michel Philippe Page, France. Olsen Matilda Johanna, Sweden. Pedersen Marcus Pill, Denmark. Punus Cherian, India. Rebetzi Daniel Ubaldo, Italy. Shotler Nadine Iman, Singapore. Shibata Koki, Japan. Shimoda Kaito, Japan. Shimoda Takuto, Japan. Shroff Ayushi, India. Singhal Shreya, India. Song Hansheng, China. Shrivastava Dia, Singapore. Tajwani Upasana, the United States of America and India. Teshima, Rio, Japan. Chu Andrian, Indonesia. Tong Si, China. Verna Greta Marianne, Switzerland. Shi Yu, China. Shu Jiahui, China. Shu Xiaoman, China. Zhang Xiaozhou, China. Zhou Jeffrey, Australia.
Agrawal and Vita, India. Banerjee, Atish, India. Billiot, Alex, Belgium. Bothra, Anant, Chand, India. Brahm, Nicola, Kieran, Erna, the Netherlands. Chari, Anana, Nanthakuma, Singapore. Chowdhury, Avantika, Singapore. Clark, Patrick, Jarlath, the United States of America. Curran, Julia, Helen, the United Kingdom. Eastep, Abigail, Bryn, the United States of America. Forsell, Ellen, Ika, Maria, Sweden. Gauri Shankar Rao, Tanishka, India. Grace Theodore Robin Everard, Australia and Canada. Gupta Dev, India. Gupta Shruti, India. Israni Javika, Australia and India. Javeri Karan Uday, India. Juneja Kartikeya, India. Kotegawa Yuna, Japan. Lala Simran, India. Laraz Gomez Sofia, Spain. Lee Bomjin, Korea. Lee Singyup, Korea. Laran Savyon Lee, Singapore and Israel. Lobo Ushuas Penchel Gustavo, Brazil. Mahaganapathy Shruti, India. Michelini Santiago, Argentina. Mohan Anjini, India. Moon Ugi, Korea. Morris Jonathan Edward, India. Mukherjee Awindri, Canada. Nagamine Saya, Japan. Park Jung-un, Korea. Patel Natisha, New Zealand. Pinet Barana, Sanpet, Thailand. Raj Unati, India. Raj Utsav, India. Sanyal Varun Ayaman, India. Taka Mansi Nilesh, India. Vishwanath Devika, India. Wang Ziyang Jason, Singapore. Wei Xin, China. Witteveen Mace Floris Leonard, the Netherlands. Wu Ningjing, China. Yang Ji-won, Korea. Yokokawa Mizuki, Japan.
Agarwal Aditi, Singapore and India. Ang Ivan Jeremiah Texan, the Philippines. Bada Pashan, India. Camargo Rodriguez, Rafael, Brazil. Cheng Justin Chak Ching, the United States of America. Fu, Brandon, Malaysia. Nana Kumar, Kirthana, Singapore. Go, Nicole, Hui Ping, Malaysia. Grove, Jasmine Rebecca, the United States of America. Gupta, Avnish, the United States of America and Singapore. Hashimoto Mana, Japan. Hind, Leela Ann, New Zealand and Zimbabwe. Hirano Lee, Keiko, the United States of America and Japan. Honda, Meru, Japan. Hong, Yumi, Korea. Ivisic, Borna, Croatia. Jane, Vikram Elliott, the United States of America. Joshi, Anandini, India. Joshi, Gayatri Aditya, India. Kamiyama Nikki, Japan. Kandawal, Palak, India. Keshav, Khosla, Singapore and India. Kim, Yeri, Korea. Kuzmuk, Valeria, the Ukraine. Lam, Yujun Melissa, Canada and Taiwan. Maris Manton, Elliot, the United States of America. Mara Muskan, Singapore. Meta Dia, India. No Hyunsu, Korea. Parimalam Harish, India. Pinto Nishant Joseph, India. Patjamanviman Kornkaman, Thailand. Ritter Loritz, Germany. Ruben Thomas Matthew, India. Sabatik, Riyadh, Belgium and Macedonia. Sile, Serinia, Luxembourg and Thailand. Ram, Seshadri, India. Moore, Sahib Singh, the United Kingdom. Wang, Henry Leighton, Singapore. Ye Chun Chen, Taiwan. Yu Yunfei, China.
Aoki Ren, Japan. Arun Kamanshri Visini, Thailand. Bala Devita, Australia. Bini Vittoria, Italy. Bungers, Bus, the Netherlands. Chanitanda, Audrey, Christy, Lewis, Indonesia. Chun Jerhan, China. Cho Sa-min, South Korea. Zul Hisham Hazik, Azrael, Singapore. Iguchi Tomomasa, Japan. Forsberg, Stephanie, Poland and the United States of America. Han, Ifan, China. Hurry, Kostab, India. Heggie, Robbie Grant, Scotland. Ito, Haruisa, Japan. Jung Yunha, South Korea. Kim Jian, South Korea. Kim Yun-sa, South Korea. Korangod, Parat, India. Lichthart, Sabina, Ricky, Diana, the Netherlands. Lin Wei Chin, Singapore and Taiwan. Markovic Mina, Serbia. Rogiani, Devon, Singapore. Shankar, Sanjay, India. Sen Shubhalashmi, India and Singapore. Shastri Shravan, India. Shiv Kumar Arpitha, Singapore. Sukamphong Jirahyu, Thailand. Syed Mohammed Bilal, India. Talwar Shubha, India. Burley Brian, Belgium. Vidanovic Mila, Serbia and Macedonia. Vandal Mia, Norway and Austria. Yu Jae-uk, South Korea. Drew Hai, South Singapore and China.
We will have to clear the aisles because there will be a recessional in a couple of moments, the centre aisle. Before we conclude and the graduates leave the stage, I would like to thank the teachers of these graduating students who over the past 1 to 14 years and our academic advisors have worked hard to bring them to this place, their thorough administration, their documentation, and allowing these students to take their place on the stage. Thanks too to the Parents Association for their support, their commitment, their precious time, and the dozens of other people who have made it possible to hold this celebration today. And parents, congratulations, you made it. I wish every student well in their future studies, for which you are certainly well prepared. I look forward to many of you returning to visit us at OFS, which is a long-standing tradition amongst our graduates, and also keep in touch with each other through our alumni network. After the graduates have left the auditorium in a moment, I would like to invite all guests to please be seated again for a short time, so that we have a few minutes to arrange the refreshments, which will be at the back of the auditorium. Graduates, please stand. Parents and family members, directors and faculty, I present to you the class of 2017.